Like many of you, I've often wondered how much money does Xbox Game Pass actually make? There's a lot of people, including myself, that thought at various times that, Game Pass probably wasn't very successful in terms of money, given all the money that Microsoft is spending to get content for the platform. But now we have a leak thanks to the Brazilian board that actually approved the Activision deal, and Xbox Game Pass, wow, really makes a lot of money. This is going to be very hard to hear for the people that are of the belief that it's unsustainable and Microsoft loses a ton of money on this stuff. In fact, just the opposite. Microsoft seems to be setting themselves up very well for the future, and it looks like this is going to be something that's going to continue to grow and grow and grow. And it just goes and show you exactly why they were very interested in picking up Activision to begin with, because if they're doing this well right now, imagine when these games start hitting one after the other, and you get stuff like Call of Duty and Diablo day one into your service. Wow, it's going to go a long way in getting Microsoft exactly where they want to be. Yes, they're still going to be the more traditional way, but again, I thought that this is one of those things right here that really just kind of solidifies that Microsoft is onto something special, because I'm sitting there thinking, you know what, for a little bit more than what Sony fans paid for a remake of a remaster of The Last of Us Part 1, you could get all this content, right? Like, think about that for one hot minute. Right, like this game, and everybody rags on old games, but they buy a $70 overpriced old game with less content than both the original and the remake or remaster, excuse me. So yeah, it's crazy to think how things have changed, how Microsoft has really gone on the offensive with this stuff. I want to get into it. Hey, I'm Crap Gamer, and this is Crap Gamer Reviews. Please hit that like button. I'm looking to get 100 likes on each of my videos. A very small thing to kind of achieve, but something that I'm looking to do nonetheless. So it would really mean a lot to me if you guys could help me out with that. A simple like, yes, it really does help. It really does matter. So if you guys could do that, be awesome to see that happen. Now, when we all talk about how, different Microsoft is and they take a different approach than Sony, now we know why. Microsoft has revealed how much money Game Pass actually makes, and it's crazy. They're actually use this to help Brazilian regulators build a favorable case for the upcoming merger with Activision Blizzard. Right now, multiple worldwide regulators are sifted through tons of games industry from the data, all this kind of stuff. The massive Microsoft Activision merger is looming, and regulators have collected libraries of data and figures, testimonials, and expert opinions as they try to determine if the merger is good for consumers and the $198 billion video games market as a whole. Now, some regulators like Brazil's Administrative Council for Economic Defense, or CADE, have already approved the merger. Now, CADE released a public document outlining its thought process on the approval and included a ton of data on Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. So, yeah, there is that, and we now have this information more so than what we had expected before. One specific shows just how much Microsoft makes from Xbox Game Pass on consoles. According to the data, Game Pass generated $2.9 billion from console alone in 2021. Now, think about that, because Game Pass has steadily grown since that point, and obviously it's probably much more than that now. Now, based on the data publicly available by Microsoft, Xbox gaming generated a total of $16.28 billion in the calendar year of 2021. Now, this means that Xbox Game Pass roughly made up 18% of Microsoft's total yearly Xbox revenues and nearly 30% of its games and services revenues, which was just over $12.5 billion for the period. We can take an even further look and align those values with subscribers of that period. Microsoft has sporadically revealed that Xbox Game Pass subscriber numbers, so we can't be 100% accurate. However, between August 21st and March 2022, Game Pass went from 15 to 18 million subscribers. So we can pinpoint the range at 2.9 billion revenated from 15 to 18 million subscribers across PC and console. Now, remember, the figure is just for console and does not include PC on this particular earning. So we have to kind of keep that in mind. Now, they're up over 25 million Game Pass subscribers, so that's possibly 10 million more than when they made this 2.9 billion themselves. I mean, think about that. If they get up to 30 million subscribers, you're looking at, close to 6 billion annual revenue, which is insane. numbers, and like more numbers than Netflix. So people that want to compare it to Netflix and says, oh, you need hundreds of millions of subscribers, this is crazy to think that this is exactly what's going on with Microsoft right now. Microsoft is going all out with this, and you can see why. If you look at Netflix, they seem to constantly be, and I always try to say this, like, you can kind of look at some of these services and go, well, it's similar but different genres. I think that's as close as you get, because comparing, entertainment like TV and movies to video games is completely different. And I think this really kind of proves why, because Netflix is always seemingly in the red, and barely, like, if they make, 2 billion, which is nothing to sneeze at, but you would think they would make more. But if they clear 2 billion, that's like a huge deal for them. Where here we are, Netflix, that's Netflix, and 200 million subscribers, and Xbox Game Pass has, back when they had 15 to 18 million subscribers, and is clearing, almost 3 billion. I know that's probably not profit, but still, it's a huge indication that things are kind of going in a certain kind of way for everybody. Now, we can kind of understand why Sony was going out of their way to sort of do something and try to match this with PlayStation Plus or PlayStation Now, or whatever you want to consider it. One of the things that they clearly needed to do was get into the game, and obviously not being in the game has hurt them a tremendous amount. And, like I said, a lot of people that go, oh, well, Microsoft, they don't really have the games to beat them. They don't really have this. They don't really have that. Well, the things that I point out is, yes, Sony has these great games, The Last of Us and, the God of Wars and things like that. But those can only come out once every 4 years or so. Right? So you have these times in between that, and they're trying to pump out, stuff that's kind of unknown to them, games as a service and things like that. Microsoft is coming into their own. They've already have over 15 games announced, and it looks like we're going to be hitting early and often next year with a lot of these titles, and that's going to look very attractive to probably a lot of Xbox fans, and a lot of gaming fans just in general. So, for a lot of the people that were out there saying, Microsoft did it wrong, and, for the people that were claiming that Xbox was never going to make money this way, this really does go to show that this is absolutely the right way for Microsoft to go, and it changes gaming. That's why so many people get upset, because there's fear of that, and I feared it for a while as well, right? I thought, man, there's no way that this is going to be able to, be sustainable. How can this, hurt the quality? This is going to hurt the quality, etc. And then you start to think about it. What happens when the quality dips in something you like? You stop watching it, you stop paying for it, right? Or you stop buying it. Like, a lot of people think Call of Duty went down in quality, they stopped buying it. Again, this is the thing that people do with services. So you can't have less quality. You have to have more quality, more variety. You have to have all of that stuff. So as far as I can tell, Microsoft is definitely onto something here. I can't wait to hear some of the rebuttals here. This is huge news. Let me know what you guys think. Rack them up, fact them up, crap gamer them up. Crap gamer out.